Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express, the important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 1st of June. The first important news, that is Inter-ministerial panel for the food grade storage capacity. Government is looking forward to increase the part of the storage capacity. Second, cabinet note for second phase of CITIIS, that is CITES program. Third, India Nepal likely to ink number of pact on energy and trade. The part of bilateral relationship between India and Nepal is taking further strengthening. The second last, that is OTT platform mandated to show anti-tobacco warning. And the last is an editorial, is India missing on a Graphene bus. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And before I begin this session, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative for your examination purposes, do press a like button. Starting the session, the first news, that is Inter-ministerial panel for food grain storage capacity. Something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementation. Now, why we are discussing this news? So recently the Union Cabinet, the central government has approved a formation of IMC. What is IMC? IMC stands for Inter-Ministerial Committee to facilitate the world level of grain storage plan in the cooperative sector. Something very important that will call for a part of structuralization and even part of protecting the storage in the cooperative sectors. So this will be done by the convergence with the various ministries scheme, which include definitely the Ministry of Agriculture and Farm Welfare, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, and even Ministry of Food Processing and the part of processing industries. तो 3 ministries हैं जो कि मिलके काम करेंगी ताकि वर्ल्ड लेवल की लार्जेस्ट ग्रेन स्टोरेज प्लान को बनाया जा सके for the cooperative sector. Very, very important, directly relevant for your mains examination. Now, implementation of the scheme, how it will be implemented. As I've told you, there will be 3 ministries that will be coordinating. So the scheme will be implemented at the cost of 1 lakh crore, and under the scheme, the godown capacity is of 2,000 ton, just to correct, 2,000 ton will be constructed in every block. So this construction will take place each and every block. There can be a statement in prelims examination asking you such minute details also. Now an inter-ministerial committee will be formed for this, and the decision has to be taken to start the city investment to innovate, integrate and sustain as a part of Cities 2.0 program. Now this will ensure that there is a time-bound implementation of definitely government is looking in a way where professional level पे इसको implement करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, and even the Ministry of Cooperation, the new ministry of the Government of India, will be implementing the pilot project in list 10 selected districts across different state union territories of the country. Now, creating infrastructure is again very important. See, when we talk about the part of storage, specifically in area, I mean part of the rural area or it is urban area, we need to have a good infrastructure, an infrastructure that is worthy. So creating infrastructure, focusing on infrastructure development such as godowns for agriculture and elite purposes at viable प्राइमरी एग्रीकल्चर क्रेडिट सोसाइटी जिसे पैक्स भी कहते हैं, ये सारी चीज़ें काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट होगी. द प्लान विल यूटिलाइज द एवल्यूशन ऑफ द फंड, जो फंड अवेलेबल हैं, इवन आइडेंटिफाइंग द स्कीम फॉर देयर रेस्पेक्टिव मिनिस्ट्रीज. सो सम ऑफ द program which was already there by the government of India will be coordinated in a manner so it is helping out in the part of the overall development. So these schemes include एग्रीकल्चर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड, जहाँ पे बहुत हद तक जो फाइनेंसेस की इशू है वो भी कवर होंगे. उसके अलावा एग्रीकल्चर मार्केटिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर स्कीम, mission for integrated development of horticulture, submissions on एग्रीकल्चर मैकेनाइजेशन जिसे SMA भी कहते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री फॉर्मलाइजेशन ऑफ माइक्रो फूड प्रोसेसिंग एंटरप्राइजेस स्कीम, एंड लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट इज द प्रधानमंत्री किसान संपदा योजना. Now advantages की अगर बात करें, the plan is multifacets. This will call for addressing the shortage of agriculture infrastructure by establishing godown at the PACS level. Now this will enable that the PACS to undertake various activities including serving the procurement centers जो fair price shop है जिसे ration shops भी कहते हैं, and even the part of custom hiring centers setting up the common processing unit will be there. So these are some of the advantages that the citizen will directly avail as a benefit. Now the decentralization storage capacity at the local level will reduce the food grain wastage, strengthening the food security, prevent the distress sale of the crop, and even reduce the transportation cost. Now moving to the second news of the day, this is related to this news only where the infrastructure is the prime focus. Now the cabinet note for the second phase of CITIAS, I'll call it CITES program, something important for General Studies paper 2. That is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. So recently the Union Cabinet has approved the second phase of City Investment to Innovate, Integrate and Sustain. This is a CITES program. This program is under the ambit of Smart City Mission. Very important, relevant for your prelims examination. These type of factual information must be known to you, right? So the Smart City Mission aims to promote integrated waste management, climate-oriented reform action. These are the two most priorities. And the sites will be implemented in 18 cities that would be selected based on the competitions. The scheme will run for a period of 4 years. Initially, say 4 years के लिए की गई है. That will be from 2023 till 2027. Provisions क्या क्या हैं इस schemes के अंदर, इस programs के अंदर? First, it called for a combined waste management, which is again very important. The program will include the constructions of a circular economy with related projects. So these projects, first is combined waste management. Second is the climate change observatories. Third is institutional strengthening. And last, that is knowledge dissemination at national level. So a coordinations between all this will require to ensure that the implementation is program is at the fullest. Now, अगर sites की बात करें, this is something, a program that is conceived by the mission of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So MOHUH, this is a concerned ministry which is taking care for the part of the implementations in partnership with the French development agencies, European Union and National Institute of Urban Affairs. तो ये सारे institutions जो हैं वो directly इसमें involved होंगे. Component क्या क्या है इस program की? First, there are 3 components. Just to tell you, there are 3 components which I'll be discussing one by one. The first important component of the program is the financial and technical support for developing project focus on building the climate resilience. Second is adaptive and mitigations of 18 smart cities through the selection of competition. They will be competitively selected and those who found in the parameters will be accordingly given out. So promoting circular economy with the focus on integrating the waste management. Now the second main component include setting up of existing state climate centers, climate cells or equivalents. और दूसरी चीज होगी that is creating a state and city level climate data observatories. Third, facilitating climate data driven planning and developing the climate actions. So these points are under the second category. So this is point 1 for the second, this is 2, this is 3. Now the 4 is to build the capabilities of municipal functioning, and the 5th under the second category is to achieve the objective of the program management unit, जिसे PMUs भी कहते हैं, and NIUH, that will be coordinated by the provisions under the technical assistance and strategic support to the state government. So definitely there will be a coordination which will be established between the center and the state. Now the third and the last component is the intervention at the level, जहाँ पे center, state और city तीनों मिल करके काम करेंगे. There will be a coordination between C, S, and C, right? So this will call for a climate governance in the urban India, institutionalizing the part where strengthening of the capacity building and even knowledge disseminations, partnership, and supporting at the large scale between all state and cities will be done. So the new scheme aims to leverage the part of scaling and learning for the success of the cities one, which were launched in actually 2018. So this SITIIS program was actually conceptualized in 2018, and finally the second phase is implemented by the government of India. Now, India and Nepal likely to ink number of pacts on energy and trade, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is India and its neighborhood relations. Now, recently we have come across the news that the Prime Minister of India is about to hold a meeting with the Nepal Prime Minister. It's something very important in terms of establishing a diplomatic relationship and even a bilateral relationship between India and Nepal. So the engagement comes as a part of Prime Minister 2, who is in a 4-day visit to India, aimed at bolstering the part of outstanding and friendly relationship between the two nations. Now, Nepal holds their strategic importance for India in the region, and both countries have a sharp, deep-rooted historical and cultural ties. Focus area की अगर बात करें, this is something boosting cooperations in area of energy. This will be the priority. दूसरी priority होगी connectivity. Third will be trade. So these are the three important priorities that the both country India and Nepal will be focusing upon. Now the other key priorities include deepening the power sector, which is again Nepal has an edge on this regard, and the new initiative across the spectrum of corporations. और इंडिया और नेपाल की जो joint statement होनी है, that will also call for the power sector, and even it considered that Nepal has been exporting 450 megawatt of electricity to India. So Nepal has definitely a potential in this regard, and India can definitely utilize this potential by establishing a better relationship. Strengthening the financial connectivity between two countries, and in last April, RuPay card was actually launched in Nepal during the visit of Nepalese Prime Minister to India. So these are some of the other financial measures and a financial part of cooperation between India and Nepal. Now, power sector corporations की अगर बात करें, which is again very important when we talk about India and Nepal. So cooperation between India and Nepal will be significant, and the area of focus include India-Nepal joint vision statement on power sector from April last year. And Nepal has been exporting 450, this is what I told you, highlighting the progress in the sector. Now, OTT platform mandated to show anti-tobacco warning, something very important. And this is something relevant for General Studies paper 2, that is issues related to development and management of health. Now, what ministry has decided? Ministry of Health has recently mandated that anti-tobacco warning will be a mandate. It will be mandatory in all the OTT platform where the scene of cigarette smoking or anything related to cigarettes are there. It will have to be completely banned, right? There have to be completely regulations. Now, the ministry notification laid the new rules for the anti-tobacco warning, and publishers who fail to comply with the new rule will have a strict action against them. Now, what is the proposed notification and mandate? जो OTT platforms है, over the top platforms, will be required to display anti-tobacco warning or disclaimers wherever there is a scene or a movie scene where the part shows smoking or any other things related to part of it. The OTT platform shall be required to exhibit an anti-tobacco health warning for the prominent strategic message at the bottom of the scene when tobacco products are used or displayed in the program. So definitely it is very important because OTT has been taking a good significance, and even a chunk of people are watching it. A substantial population is watching OTT platforms. So there is a kind of impression which is already there. So these were not regulated. I personally feel that this regulation was a mandate. Now, COPTA rules की अगर बात करें, what is this rule? This rule stand for cigarette and other tobacco products, prohibitions of advertisement and regulations of trade and commerce, production, supply and distribution rule. This is known as COPTA rule. और ये discourage करती है tobacco को use को, and eliminate all direct and indirect advertisement of tobacco. So this rule was there in 2004 itself, And India has become a global leader in tobacco regulations by implementing the part of regulation in OTT, right? Now, moving to the editorial of the day, is India missing the graphene bus? Something very important. This will give you an insight how a potential of graphene can be differently used in India's progress. Something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is conservation, environmental pollutions, degradation, and EIA. So what I'll be discussing under this editorial, first the theme and the focus of this article is about the graphene and its prospects. We'll see some of the important issues like features of graphene, potential use of graphene global market size क्या है, उसके अलावा इंडिया की क्या progress रही है and the way forward. So if you see the part of artificial intelligence, it's a software. अगर artificial intelligence की बात करें, सॉफ्टवेयर की बात करें तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस उसकी एपिटोम है, और अगर कंप्यूटर्स की बात करें तो क्वांटम कंप्यूटर उसकी एक सबसे टॉप मोस्ट आर्क है. नाउ मटेरियल्स में ग्राफेन इज समथिंग दैट इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी एपिटोम, राइट? दिस इज व्हाई द एडिटर हैज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द लाइन इन सच अ वे दैट you people can connect it, right? Now these three emerging technology will distribute the existing human machine interface and will next couple of decades will be dominated by the sectors. Now while India is among the leaders in AI and potential challenges in the quantum computing, but we are lacking on the part of graphene and even the total production which is there. Graphene projected to emerge as a possible sustainable material, improving the sustainability and variety of the industries. Features of the graphene की अगर बात करें, see from here you can get a lot many question in prelims examination. The trend that has changed recently in 2023, this makes you more diligent on the part that you should know some of the basics clear, crystal clear, and you should learn it. So some of the features include that graphene is the world's thinnest, strongest, and most conducive material for both electricity and heat. For both electricity and heat. This is one point. Now the second, it conducts electricity better than copper. Again, very important. It has 200 times stronger than steel, but 6 times lighter than steel. It is almost perfectly transparent and absorbs 2% of light. It is impermeable to gases and even to those gases such as hydrogen and helium. It also has the potential to revolutionize the electricity, conductivity, energy generations, batteries, sensors, and more. So, and also added, when added in material, graphene is used in small quantities to produce composite material with dramatically transformed qualities. So all these features that is about the graphene is very, very important for your examination. You can definitely take a note of this. Now, potential use of graphene की अगर बात करें, graphene is something that is used in aerospace, automobiles, sports equipment and construction. It is a high performing, अगर बैटरीज की बात करें वहाँ पे यूज की जाती है, सुपर कैपेसिटर्स, टच स्क्रीन एंड कंडक्टिव इंक्स. Graphene based sensor are also environmental monitoring, healthcare and wearable devices में भी इसकी uses हैं. And graphene oxide membranes are used for water purification and desalination. And even in during COVID-19, graphene based masks were developed. Graphene is highly sensitive to environment, which makes it excellent candidate for sensing the part of chemical and biological agent, exposing the part of radiations and other hazardous substances. Besides this, graphene-based material is also the product, basically protect us from the chemical and biological attacks. So see a material which has a gamut of benefit, then why we should lack? Definitely India should invest where graphene production, wherever it is there, we should be, putting our best effort to ensure that the most availabilities are there in the country itself. ग्लोबल ग्राफीन मार्केट साइज की अगर बात करें, टोटल CAGR अभी के कंटेक्स्ट में 46.6% बताई गई है, which is again a higher number, and the value was 175.9 in 2022. Over 300 companies are now producing graphene and its derivatives, and among other leading countries, graphene are rich in China, United States of America, United Kingdom, Japan, South Korea, Russia, and Singapore. China and Brazil are the global leaders for the commercial production of graphene. And अगर बात करें बीजिंग ग्राफीन इंस्टीट्यूट की, उन्होंने सेटअप किया 2008 में. Several companies producing industries grade graphenes. Now India produce about 1/20 compared to 10th of 1/3 compared to the Brazil. So ये कुछ इंडिया की प्रोडक्शन. I'll tell you specifically about the India's part. So India progress की अगर बात करें, India's की क्या progress है? So definitely the market is growing, but it is again at the niche state. We are at the immature stage. Even electronic and automobile industries are booming to the sector. Recently, central government ने nano science and engineering centers बनाई ISC Bangalore में with KS Tech, where the graphene based system is developed. Now some startups and foreign subsidiaries have been working in the graphene and derivatives in India. So there's an international collaboration which is also taking place. India as a niche going on innovation for the graphene. Still, there's no such startup which is actually working on this part, but definitely government of India with its best possible effort are looking forward to augment this. IIT Roorkee Incubations with Log9 has patented the technology for graphene based ultra capacitor, and IIT Kanpur incubator of RF nanoparticle nanocompositors have developed EMI shading, that is for seed technology used in graphene based nanotubes. Now, to conclude this type of article editorial, it is very important that you know that what is the government stage at this stage. So government की अगर बात करें, government role will be very important and crucial. Nodal ministry need to be interested with this responsibility, जो कि अभी के context में Ministry of Earth and Sciences होंगी और Ministry of Minerals, right? So ये सारी ministries हैं, इन्हें coordinate करने की ज़रूरत है. And India need to be among the leaders in the graphene because of we may experience the winner that take the most of the situations. And given the cost to the volume, the high grade graphene is produced where the concentrated locations in the world as it used in the semiconductors, right? तो बहुत सारे ऐसे कंट्रीज ने सेमीकंडक्टर्स में भी एज ली है और इंडिया ने सेमीकंडक्टर्स में बहुत हद तक एडवांटेज नहीं ले पाए. नाउ दिस इज अ टाइम दैट वी नीड टू कोप अप, जहाँ पे ग्राफीन एक ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी है जो बहुत सारे आने वाले समय में इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ों की डायरेक्शंस को डिसाइड करेगी, एंड दिस कैन बी द फ्यूचर. सो इंडिया डेफिनेटली नीड टू gauge this opportunity where research and production on graphene should be there with a defining material of the age. So this is where India need to act proactively, and this time we cannot afford an opportunity to miss it out. So this was all about for this article. Moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option is A. For second question, the correct option is C. So you can check the questions answers accordingly. Today's MCQ questions: National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration. It's a European Union scientific regulatory forecast weather monitor ocean atmospheres. The main functions include understanding, describing Earth's system through research analysis of the data. The second question, that is positive Indianization list. The list, just the list that has the part of procure only for the domestic producers. The manufacturers should be have a defense public sector undertaking and not the private sector. So do check out for the correct option. This is something which you can find in the PIB also, that is a Press Information Bureau. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.